Throughout the years, there are ways that people can actually bring themselves out into the internet, whether that would be making content for YouTube or Dailymotion whenever that existed, as well as trying other ways to do so, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, other forms of social media to get themselves out there. But the one thing that really took off the most was streaming. You have people that will go on stream and they'll play video games that they really enjoy, or they'll just talk with their audience and chat, while they're just talking about anything and everything just to entertain their audience. But with Phil, though, the only reason why he went to streaming, though, is because people demanded that he did so. With whole things with direct capture, then going to streaming, nothing can really truly satisfy Phil in any case, shape, or form, just so that he could try to push out as much content as he possibly could while trying to make a paycheck out of it. So a Lolcow telling you why he streams and why he has to beg for money during his streams, it's really redundant in every way, shape, and form.
If one day you want to have an open conversation about it, I guess we'll have it, but I'm not going to sit here and argue the difference between crowdfunding free content because you like it and you want to see it to continue versus someone who is literally creating content to sell you something so that they can pay or so they can make money to line their pockets. Do you understand the difference?
The reason why I'm going to bring this up in very, very minute details is due to the fact that that's what you do on every single time you stream. You stream, you beg for money, and you think that you should be paid for streaming. That you playing video games, that people should just throw money at you immediately. Doesn't matter what you play, doesn't matter what you say, you should always get that money. But when people are actually promised money and they actually do get their money, you immediately call them shills for it. Doesn't matter what they're doing. It could be a Lolcow podcast, or it could just be someone saying, hey, here's a paid advertisement for like HelloFresh. Because most people earn their money, but then some people will get paid to do something, even though it could be outside of what they want to do. But the problem is that you have no passion or drive for anything, and you just want to get paid for being lazy. I mean, for God's sakes, we've heard you talk about this same discussion over and over and over again, and compared yourself to owning a fucking restaurant.
It's very different. It is. It's just very different. Listen, if you want to be advertised to, you can go to TV, or you can go to any of the shows on the internet. I mean, even the things you pay for, like Netflix, Amazon Video, they're all got ads now.
Well, then again, don't your streams have ads, Phil, that you put in this experiment that you wanted to try with your deadhead fans? Just to say, hey, guys, I'm going to see if these ads work. Let me know what ads you get. But not only that, but you do advertise yourself on the fucking daily. You keep saying, guys, I need those tip goals. I need those memberships. I need those super chats. Oh, like my streams. You essentially shill yourself out while being a massive hypocrite and calling everyone else shills, even though they deserve their fucking sponsorships. Well, you really don't, and you never did.
All of them. It's all just ads everywhere, right? You can go watch as many advertisements as you like. I would think that it would be refreshing that there's someone who makes content for you that doesn't want you to be advertised to all day.
Again, Phil, I already said it. You keep shilling yourself, whoring yourself out on the internet by saying, guys, if you give me $50, I'll wear the glasses. If you give me $100, I'll wear a silly hat. And if I get $150, I'll wear a vest for you. But even then, when you advertise yourself, you always tend to scam your audience, whether it be throwing your hat across the room, the glasses, or not even put on the vest because it's too hot.
No, I would think so, right?
Oh, go, yum, 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 yum.
You know, it's a necessary evil to have ads on content. If I could have no ads on anything, no ads on the streams, no ads on my videos, of course I would do that.
No, fuck off with that bullshit right there, Phil. You'll still have ads on the videos. Even on the videos that you claim that you won't put ads on, you will still put ads on those videos. I mean, for God's sakes, you did that with a John and Howard react saying, I'm not making money off of you guys. Nope, not doing that anymore. And yet there are still ads on the video. Huh, so much for not wanting to profit off of your old friends, all right?
I don't have enough, viewership to do that. I just don't. I need to have some of that. It is supplemental.
I mean, for God's sakes, Phil, most times on your streams, you get about 2, 3, maybe 400 people. At max, I've ever seen you stream, you had at least 700 people. And that's pretty decent for someone of your size. But when people look in on it from the outside, they're very confused of someone with 200,000 subs only maintaining like a 700, maybe even at most 200. And it's really confusing until they actually watch your fucking streams and they see, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. So the viewer count makes sense.
You know, if I could turn it off, I would. I don't like ads, just like you.
You still love ads. If it's lining up your pockets in your Hogan account, then absolutely you'll keep the ads on because you're that based around greed. I mean, I could go more into intricacies of why you do so, but everyone else has done so before, and they could do a lot better job than I can.
You know, but if I can avoid being a shill and pushing crap down your throat that, you know, you don't care about, I will.
Guys, if you give me $50, I'll wear the gunner glasses. Yeah, that's totally not shoving it down people's throats now, is it?
It's sad, you know. You go to watch something, like, for example, I sometimes try to drop in and watch content creators who previously I used to watch, okay? So, for example, every once in a while, I'll watch The Angry Video Game Nerd.
Well, then again, didn't you say you don't like watching his stuff due to the fact that you don't want his form of content or form of humor to bleed into yours, even though you try to take his own humor into your own content? I mean, for God's sakes, Phil, there's pretty much being inspired by someone, but then taking the jokes and trying to make it funny as if it's yours is completely different.
Or every once in a while, I'll watch The Nostalgia Critic, just to see how they're doing.
I wonder why the Nostalgia Critic of all people. Like, granted, the older stuff is better, but the newer stuff, yeah, I don't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Watch all of their stuff. I'll just pop in and say, what's the newest episode or whatever. I actually heard that Angry Video Game Nerd had done a really good episode for this Halloween. It was a return to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which was like one of his first, if not his first review ever, you know, a million years ago. So, you know, I go to watch it, and what I notice is immediately there's product placements. Oh, this is brought to you by NordVPN. Oh, this is brought to you by DoorDash. This is brought to you by this meal subscription service. This is brought to you by some cryptocurrency. This is brought to you by blah, blah, blah. And you watch it and you're like,
Phil, you could always just skip the fucking ads. I mean, most normal people will do so. As soon as you see someone say, this is brought to you by NordVPN, okay, skip ahead in the video so you see where it actually fucking starts. Or some of them are actually nice enough to be like, hey, go here if you don't want to see the ads. But at the same time, though, the reason why Phil is making that face of, I don't understand why there's ads. I mean, for God's sakes, Phil, Angry Video Game Nerd has been around the internet for a long fucking time. And him getting advertisements, it's no big fucking surprise. Because, A, the guy has a good personality outside of his own content. And also, B, he actually deserves it. I mean, if a company comes to you and says, hey, we really like your stuff, we want to promote you. What you tend to do, Phil, is that you always want to question everything. If something is handed to you, granted, there's nothing wrong with going over the fine details, but most people would hop on it at any fucking moment. Even you would do it, Phil. The guy who says he doesn't take product placements because he's not like the rest. But if someone gave him a big fucking deal, or I don't know, like $50K, he would have signed on it right a fucking way.
you know that these guys don't use this stuff. This is not like a testimonial. This is not like, oh, you know, this is good stuff that they stand by, right? And
how do you know, Phil? How the fuck do you know that they don't use things like NordVPN? I mean, for God's sakes, if it's a VPN, most of them use it. Then they tell you, hey, this is actually really good, and I highly recommend this product. But no, Phil thinks that every single time you see like an ad for like Raid Shadow Legends, NordVPN, or just anything like that, ExpressVPN, all of these, and you never think that they would try it out and see if it's actually a good product. And if they like the product, yeah, they'll like the product. But you seem to think that they're testimonials, and yet you're like, they're not that, but they sell it to you like it is. Phil just likes to like think he's intelligent when he says this shit, but we all know he really isn't.
And they believe in, this is just, I'm going to take payment to shill a product that I don't care about and never will use, but it's just something that I want to push for money. And it's intrusive to the video. It's incredibly annoying, right? Now listen, these guys have much bigger viewership than me, even to this day. They have way more viewers, way more attention on their content than I do.
Well, yeah, you want to know why? Because they actually change with the times. If YouTube implemented new changes, they'll do whatever it takes to fit by the standard, to fit by the norm. But you, Phil, want to sit there and say that you deviate from the norm and that you do things your own way and that you're more successful than all the others. When in reality, who's making more money than you are? The other guys that fucking changed.
Right? So when they do those ads, they got eyes on them. So they probably make a pretty big paycheck just for pumping out that product placement or whatever it is, right?
I loved immediately he goes straight into the pockets by saying that they make a lot of money by pushing this product out, even though he has no idea how much they fucking make or how much they get charged by every single time they use their code. He just doesn't understand it, but he likes to go right into the pockets, and immediately the jealousy just comes right out.
They probably make a pretty penny doing it. So by doing that, they don't have to have pressure on them about how the performance is on a particular video or whatever, because they got paid just for making it, right? But the quality and the feeling of it being genuine is completely left at the door when it's a shilled product placement. I'm sorry, it just is. For me, anyway, that's my personal feeling. It's like when I watch that, I'm like, I hate this video now. Like, even if the video is good and the content is good and it's funny, the fact that you had to watch this fake product placement. There's enough fake shit on earth. We don't need to have people who used to be genuine on the internet doing this for passion and for fun to now, I made a video today to push NordVPN. Oh, by the way, there's also something in that video you might enjoy, but please get NordVPN. You know?
God damn, Phil. The amount of jealousy that just seeped out of this man's mouth is just astounding. Due to the fact that you could watch a video and have an ad on it, and the video could be really good, but the video sucks now because they're pushing this product onto you. I mean, for God's sakes, Phil, you want to talk about genuine and actual, honest, passionate people? That's something that you're clearly not. You're going to sit there and lie to your audience and be like, I'm an honest guy, I'm transparent, I have a passion for what I do, I don't take ads, you guys, because I'm not like everyone else. Oh, but by the way, if you want to give me support and give me money, oh, that would be fucking great, guys. Points down at his fucking membership goals, puts like points at his tip goal, super chat goal, and just be like, hey guys, I just need that money because I'm shilling myself out. I'm essentially the YouTube whore that nobody fucking asked for.
You know? I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you do. And when you don't get that support, you immediately start complaining and begging more and more and more and more. And then people wonder, why is it that you're still around begging, and why aren't you not off the website?
So, yeah, that's just my feeling, and that's my opinion, and that's my philosophy, and it works.
No, Phil. That philosophy is completely fucking stupid, but it also just shows how petty you can fucking be. You don't like a video because there's an ad in it. Okay, just skip the fucking ad and move on. There's nothing wrong with doing so. But again, you're showing your pettiness and your jealousy when they make more money than you and that they have an ad. Oh my God. So let me just imagine this. Imagine Phil's actually watching cable TV and there's an ad. Well, this show fucking sucks now because there are ads and they're trying to push the Toyota Corolla onto me. Like, oh my fucking God, dude. This show sucks.
It has worked and it continues to work. Okay? So, you know, if you disagree with that and you think, oh, that's just part of the business, they're making the bag or taking the bag or whatever, that's your prerogative.
Prerogative. No, Phil, saying that's your opinion, that would have been totally fucking fine. But you love to use big fucking words to make yourself sound intelligent, when in reality, you don't even know what the words you're saying are. You don't even know the definitions of them at times. But right here, though, when you say, oh, if they're just doing it to push their business and to grab the bag, as they say, then again, they're doing something right by making a little bit of extra income on the side. But again, jealousy seeps out of the mouth.
To say that or to judge it like that, I see it completely differently. I've been making content for free for 15 years.
Oh, yeah, don't fucking get me started on the whole thing about you made free content for 15 fucking years. You're getting paid to make that content by Machinima and any other partner network that you are part of. And then you went to Twitch, became a partner over there, till they kicked you out of the fucking program. Then you went back to YouTube. Same fucking thing. You're part of the YouTube partnership program. And now you're trying to make money off of that. So you saying, free content, 15 years. Oh, by the way, guys, give me money so that I can actually spend it right a fucking way so I can wait for my YouTube check to arrive.
Why am I now going to start shilling products to make ends meet? It doesn't even make sense, right? It doesn't. You now become, when you shill products, okay, you now become beholden to those companies. You understand that, right? Like now, you have to watch what you say and do. You have to be sure that you don't accidentally do something that's considered risque, because now, oh no, you might lose a sponsorship if someone deems something you said irresponsible or, you know, not in line with their own beliefs or whatever. You can't be honest, you can't be genuine, and you can't be yourself. Genuinely, people who do this stuff all the time usually are characters. And what I mean by that is they play a role or a character, because that way they can always say what they said and did was the character, not them, right?
So, Phil, this is just immediate fucking bullshit right out the fucking get-go, with only like 5% of that being fucking correct. If you do say something that's considered to be controversial, yeah, you will lose your sponsorships. Fine. That part, agreeable. But everything else that you're saying, though, that they have to play a character so that they can keep their sponsorships, most of the time, not even the fucking case. But then again, since we're going back to AVGN, that's a fucking character. That's James Rolfe's creation. So he's playing the angry video game nerd, and he's doing everything that he's done. So it's like saying fuck, saying shit, saying cunt, saying whatever fucking curse word he wants to fucking say to make entertaining content. Same thing with anyone else that has that. Sure, granted, you'll have those that will actually censor it so that they can keep their sponsorships, but at least they're saying what they're really saying and they're being genuine with themselves. Something that you clearly don't understand.
Right? You can't be honest and real doing that kind of content because...
Oh, but are you honest and real, Phil? Fuck no, you're not. You're one of the fakest motherfuckers out there. So fuck what you think you know about the whole thing about advertisements and paid product placements when you'll never get that in your fucking life.
God forbid you say something that's not in line with the company, and now the company's pissed at you, right? And, oh, they dropped me, and now I lost money and stuff like that. Bullshit.
I mean, Phil, if we're gonna go by what you're saying, isn't that what you did with Machinima? That you went against Machinima by going to speak someone higher than someone else? I mean, for God's sakes, this is essentially what you're doing. You're projecting this onto other people.
When you're making content, the number one concern should be that that content is genuine, fun, real, entertaining, and has value for everyone involved. For you, the creator, for the person watching, for everyone there. Not, oh, I made the content to be in line with an advertiser who wanted me to act a certain way because I have a promotion for their product in said video, so God forbid that I accidentally act in a way that they don't agree with. Oh, by the way, as long as all of that's in line, that's fine. Oh, by the way, also then I do my content in that video. No.
Okay, so two things wrong with this whole entire thing. First of all, Phil, you're trying to say that you're genuine and honest and real with your content. Again, you're one of the fakest motherfuckers in the face of the fucking planet. And yet you're trying to sell yourself as like the truly genuine person when you're really not. Because every single time that you're playing a game, you are bored with it. You have become so fucking jaded with any fucking game that you play that you're just sitting there hoping that you get paid to play it. You treat this like it's a 9-to-5 job, which again, this whole thing is unrealistic from the get-go, and you're hoping that someone can drop a hundo on you. Also, number two, though, you're wanting to say that they're not providing good content because they have ads on there. It's like, Phil, people can be genuine, real, and they can be as blunt as they fucking can on anything that they're talking about. And as long as it's entertaining to the people, and as long as it's entertaining to the product placement, to the companies that gave him that, then it's all fucking fine. I mean, look at Cat Icarus. He has a lot of sponsorships brought over to him, and yet he can do as much dumbass content that he can and how risque it could possibly be, but at the same time, he never understands it at all.
No. Sorry. I'm not doing that. It's not. If I would rather quit. I would rather quit making content entirely than sell out like that and become a fucking shill.
Phil, shut the fuck up due to the fact that you did sell out. You did. Every single time that you got the Amazon affiliate link, or every single time you're pushing out the loot crate bit. My God, Phil, you want to call everyone else sellouts when you were already a sellout from the get-go. Once you signed your name on the dotted line that said, hey, Machinima, I want to be a part of your fucking network.
A paid character who has to watch what he does. Oh, watch what I say and do. I can't be genuine with my audience, right? Because I have this sponsorship that I'm dealing with, right? It's ridiculous. I can't stand it. I just cannot stand it, you know? So...
I cannot stand it while he sways back and forth in his fucking chair.
That's the deal. And that's the thing, with the hate element out there that I have, that if I were to get sponsorships, which I get offered all the time, no exaggeration, indie games are always looking for someone to play them, and they'll pay you for it. They feel that even getting a few hundred to a few thousand people watching their unknown game is worth it, and they'll pay you decent money for it.
Shut the fuck up with that, Phil. That's a whole bunch of fucking bullshit, because I've had indie game developers come to me and say, hey, would you want to try out our game and give us any feedback? Not once have I ever gotten a paycheck from them, and not once have I ever got paid or offered payment for it. Because honestly, I want to see how the game plays out, and I want to see how it does. And if I have any feedback, I give it to them, they use it, and they say, okay, thank you so much for that, we'll fix it. Again, Phil, you want to make up a lot of bullshit about indie games. And again, the whole thing with corporations, that they look into people for who they can give product placements to. Ever heard of a fucking background check? Because they can immediately search who you are, and they can see the bullshit that you've been spreading all throughout the years.
They'll offer you hundreds of dollars. They'll say, hey, if someone downloads the game, you'll get a referral bonus and stuff like that, right?
Again, no, they fucking don't. This is the same shit that you did whenever the whole thing with State of Decay 2 came out, where these people are getting paid to play it early, and they never fucking did. Because you're a jealous little bitch.
All the time those are offered, right? So I do get these offers. And also products too. I get, and of course it's not products anyone's ever heard of, but I definitely get offered this product to put this product placement and stuff like that, right?
Okay, so if this is really true, Phil, name at least one or two indie games that people have come to you to say, hey, play this indie game, we'll pay you. And also name a product that they told you, hey, promote this. Name those. Oh, right, you can't, because you want to think of shit from the top of your fucking head to be like, hey, but guys, I get them too, and I turned them down because I'm not that guy.
But again, what would happen is I would get those sponsorships, right? And I would probably have them for a bit. And then what would happen is, as you know, trolls would then go and probably do the same hate campaigns that they did over 2 years ago against me. Remember they got me kicked out of the Twitch partner program for literally doing nothing.
No, fuck off with that. You're going off about shit that detractors had nothing to do with. You did that to your own fucking self. And also, the whole thing with sponsorships, again, Phil, background checks do exist. They want to see who they want to promote their fucking product. And if they see someone that's not very charismatic, that's toxic towards their own audience, and to anyone that watches, they don't want that person to be the fucking voice. My God, Phil, are you that fucking delusional?
I didn't do anything on my stream to get me kicked out. They just deemed that things I had done in the past weren't worthy of being in the partner program, despite the fact I'd been in the partner program for how many years.
No, Phil, that's a bold-faced fucking lie. Because a few days after what you did, playing Returnal, and you intentionally or unintentionally said the N-word, no fucking idea, because that's a lot of speculation, but I'm going with the fact that you just said it and it sounded like it, and they deemed it as hateful fucking slurs, or harmful slurs, as you like to deem it so. Because, again, you want to put the blame onto someone else when the only person that did it was you.
They suddenly changed their opinion overnight with no evidence of any wrongdoing and not saying I did anything wrong. You're just out of the partner program, right?
Well, then again, Phil, if they've seen it recently, they will do a check on you to see what else you've said to make sure that the claims provided was valid. And guess what, Phil? It was valid.
They kicked me out of Teespring. Teespring invited me to their business in 2017. They designed my original clothing line for me. I didn't even do it. They designed it.
Yeah, because you're so fucking lazy to actually make any designs yourself. And also your fans actually made your fucking artwork and your t-shirt designs for you. So you didn't give them any fucking credit.
And put the products up for me. They knew who I was. They were okay with all the stuff that I had done in the past. And then 3-4 years later, oh, we just decided overnight that we don't want you on the site anymore. We're closing your shop and you're gone. It's like, huh? But that's how these companies are.
Okay, so he's going to bring up Teespring yet again with this one, though. Phil, the reason why you were kicked out of Teespring was not because of detractors, so you could take that and just shove that right up your ass. No, the reason why you were kicked out is because you weren't selling them anything. You weren't even making them money. So the key thing of business, if something is not making you money, cut ties with them. And that's a smart business strategy, because that's a liability. That's just dead fucking weight on their fucking shoulders.
So why on earth, right, would I go out of my way, change my content in a way that I don't want it to change, that I would become a paid shill, and I'd have to be so careful, about what I say and do in my content that I don't upset someone, to be dropped from a sponsor, just so that my trolls would go ahead and hate watch all my content, nitpick things I say and do, create these unfair montages that aren't representative of who I am as a person, and or use things from 10 plus years ago that I don't do anymore and act like that's who I am today to try to get me kicked out of those sponsorships. You would be opening the biggest can of worms, right? Doing something like, it's just not worth it.
Phil, there's 3 things I could say out of all of this that can prove your ass wrong with it. The first one, with all of this, you saying that, oh yeah, they're making montages out of me, saying all these things that I've done that represents me today. Phil, I thought you liked some of those contents that came out there, the montages of this is how you don't play, because it's funny, guys. It's so funny. It's funny to see all that shit, that I did this and I was so stupid back then. Number 2, you're trying to say that you've changed and that, oh, I have to watch what I say. You try doing that and you still keep on trying to do so, trying to alter what you say because you're afraid of losing your own partnership or your own AdSense with YouTube because of the shit that you've said, and you're trying to censor yourself. It's like, Phil, for someone that claims to be very fucking genuine, you're not genuine at all because you're trying to censor yourself and try to change a joke that you could easily make, but you're making it into shit jokes that aren't fucking funny. And also, 3, when people say that what you did in the past kind of still reflects to this day that you've never changed, they're absolutely fucking correct with that.
Not only would I have to change everything that I do for these promos, these products, all this stuff, but then there's this potential for so much harassment and things. It's just, I'm better off being completely independent. I really am. Someone like me, in the situation I'm in, with the amount of harassment I get, that's the best option, is to stay indie. And just to be my own man, and to do my own thing, and to keep that crap out of my content.
Yeah, I want to be independent, guys. Oh, by the way, please tip me.
Be true to my audience, and...
Yeah, but you're not really true to your audience, Phil, at all. You want to lie to them saying that you're transparent, when in reality, you're dirty as fuck.
That my audience will reciprocate and support the content, right?
But then again, Phil, money is not mandatory. Giving money on someone on a stream is not mandatory. It is completely fucking optional. Every single time you see someone streaming, they're never begging for money. They're never telling people, hey guys, look at all the tips that you could fucking do. Look at all you can get with all these incentives that you can get when you give me money. They're not doing that once. That's you that's constantly doing that. These incentives that nobody fucking asked for. Oh, and he's going back to that. Yeah, as soon as he said all that, he started biting his nail. He's like, I hope that they bought it. That turkey.
In fact, being honest here, I feel like if I were to change, like if I were forced into a situation where I have to take these offers, right? And I start taking them, I guarantee you there would be people who would turn on me and be like, so you were always against that, but now you're doing it. I'm like, well, it's a necessary evil. Right?
Yeah, he's bringing up the whole thing about the necessary evil argument. It's like, Phil, you can keep saying that and you can keep denying everything by bringing up arguments that don't really exist at all for you, but you just want to make it about, oh yeah, my audience will hate me, people will hate me, people will hate me. It's like, for someone that has really thick skin, like he proclaims, he has the thinnest fucking skin of what anyone will say about him. It's really pathetic.
Right? Well, forget it, right? And they're not going to watch, and they're not going to support, because that's what I mean. Like, they've been around for a while. They see what I stand for. And honestly, I'm one of the people that have been a holdout. You know what I mean? Like, again, all my contemporaries on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, they've all started doing this.
Okay, if they were your contemporaries, Phil, then why is it they're not supporting you? They're not saying, hey guys, if you really like my content, go check out DSP Gaming. They do the same thing I do. They never supported you once. But you just want to look at them like, they're my contemporaries, guys. I hang out with them when no one wants to hang out with you, bro.
This is just a common thing, because remember, years ago, people said stuff to me like, don't ever do that stuff. It's terrible. Now everyone does it, and it's like, it's commonly accepted. It's just common that you go on a YouTuber's channel or on a stream, and there's all these product placements and offers and promotions and referral codes and all that. It's just a common practice now, right? Didn't used to be. Really?
Phil, it's not really a common practice, though. Sure, you have the big names that will get them, though, but then you have people that aren't really that big that have the same amount of subscribers as you. They don't have those sponsorships. They don't have those paid advertisements like you're proclaiming. So what you're saying right there is a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Really, it was the opposite. It was the rare thing when someone would do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if it was such a rarity, Phil, then why is it that you're saying that, oh, yeah, I hate when people do that? Oh, yeah, shills, right.
But now it's like, well, everyone just does it. This is how people...
Also, review codes. That's another one that he hates on that as well. If someone gets an early copy of a video game, they're shills. And that was back in, what, State of Decay 2? What, 2017, 2018?
People make their money. They take the bag and they run with it. So that's fine. It's accepted. Well, what happened? So I didn't change. I'm the holdout. They all changed, but that's okay because it's them. But if I had done it, again, because I'm held to an unfair standard being a lolcow on the internet.
Well, then again, Phil, the title of lolcow has been given to you by the way that you act. You begging for money, that's definitely a trait. You taking your rage out of your audience, even the ones that did nothing wrong to you, lolcow behavior. You freaking the fuck out and trying to go clown mode to try to entertain your audience, that's also a lolcow behavior.
So if I changed to do the same thing everyone else did, I'm the hypocrite. I'm the one who's, it's not fair, right? You know, how dare you? And everyone turn on me. And then you would see all the, I guarantee you'd see all these video montages. DSP, the complete hypocrite. Here's the history of how all the years he said he didn't want to do it, and now he's doing it, right?
Phil, you're already a fucking hypocrite. You taking sponsorships, making you a hypocrite. My fucking God, dude. You have a whole history of hypocrisy and a whole history of toxicity. I mean, Turkey Tom made a fucking documentary called A Decade of Failure, and you took offense to it.
Right? So right now people say, so you talk too much about crowdfunding. Don't do it as much. Well, if I don't do it as much, then I don't make a living. Okay? Well, then don't do the crowdfunding. Instead, do the advertisements, the product placements, the shilling. Okay, I'll do that. So I'll add it. Oh, DSP, the hypocrite. Now he's shilling after all these years he said he wouldn't. Do you understand?
I love how he's immediately bringing up an argument or bringing up a defense or just anything that nobody fucking told him to do. Except for the first part where they're telling him, hey, stop begging. Stop begging as much. Just do it like once and then drop it. But no, he looked at that person's suggestion, called it a demand, and called him a fucking idiot for making such a claim. It's like, Phil, the person is absolutely fucking correct on that. Due to the fact, if they come to your stream and they see you constantly begging, it tunes people out because it just shows you're not there for being passionate with video games. You're not there to show off how the game is played. Instead, it just shows right then and there, you care more about the money. You care more about the bag, the paycheck, that paper, more and more and more than what you're proclaiming that you are. A passionate gamer that's been around for 15 years and that you're going to keep on doing it. Again, you want to tune people out? Just keep on begging. You want to lose your fucking viewership? Just keep begging, Phil. Because pretty soon you'll have no one left watching you that's genuine.
And so I'm just going to be true to myself in reality. And this is the ultimate truth of the situation is that in life, okay, there's only one person who is the authority on you, and there is only one person who you actually have to answer to, and that's you and yourself. That's it.
What if you're religious, Phil? What if you have to answer to God or whatever belief that you have? Because some people have that mentality. But also, Phil, I hate the fact that you're trying to be like serious and profound by saying the truth of the matter is the thing in life. There's one thing in life. There's this, there's that, there's this. And you're thinking that you're so profound when in reality you're not. You're just someone who gets drunk off their ass and think, I'm a philosopher, guys. Let me tell you my drunken ramblings for no reason at all.
Right? Who gives a shit what anyone else outside says? There's so much white noise out there in life, in the world. People saying and doing, whispering behind your back and publicly saying nasty things. Who cares what people say?
Well, clearly you do, because you won't shut the fuck up about it. You'll bring it up on your podcast, and you're like, this is what Turkey Tom said about me. Oh, this is what Rich said about me. Fuck those people. I don't care what they're saying. I had thick skin. Oh, by the way, let me tell you what my detractors said about me again.
Just be true to you. As long as you feel like what you're doing is the right thing to do, and you feel like you're doing something positive, right? And, you know, then that's fine. And, you know,
I never knew that begging was considered a positive. That begging on the internet, always crying broke, is a form of positivity, when in reality, it's not. It just shows that you're desperate and that you don't view your audience as an audience, that you view them as a pay pig. You view them as an ATM. It just shows right then and there that you're lying to yourself, saying that you interact with your audience, but in reality, you just want them to give you money and move the fuck on.
That's how you go through life. And that's my philosophy is my goal is to every day come here and make positive content for all of you.
Even though it's not even positive at all. I mean, for God's sakes, you love to yell at your own audience and yell at them to give you money.
Make a living without hurting people.
Even though, granted, some of the people that have given you more money over the years, they actually had to file bankruptcy of themselves, so that way it hurts them. And also that you don't give a fuck what you say to people, the shit that you said, because words actually hurt and they can cut deep. I mean, you did that with a lot of people that you banned over the years.
Right? That's really the goal. I want to make a living without having to hurt others. I don't want to get ahead by stomping on people below me and pushing forward.
I mean, didn't you do that with John Rambo and Howard? Didn't you do that with Leanna? Didn't you do that with all the people that were supporting you over the years, and as soon as they stopped, you immediately banned them? I mean, for God's sakes, there's a list of people that you have fucked over the years, and it's still growing.
I just want to be with all of you having a good time, enjoying games, chilling, having fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, he loves to sit there and just lie straight to your face saying that he's enjoying what he's doing. When in reality, he's not enjoying it. He looks like he's bored, about to pass out, and he gets upset at the easiest part of the game. For God's sakes, the one-shot challenge in like Dragon Gaiden? That's a great example.
And there's no way to do this without hitting an 8-ball. It's impossible. I could have done that years and years ago. I could have been one of these slam YouTubers, drama content creators. There was epic amounts of opportunity to do that.
I mean, Phil, you try doing that. You always want to find a way to shit talk anyone that's popular than you. Again, bring it up like a Dragon Gaiden. You threw in Keemstar. You threw in XQC for no fucking reason to be, oh my god, guys, I'm funny. This guy's XQC. Oh, this guy's Keemstar.
And I totally opted out of that. I said, nah, I'm just going to be true to myself. I'm going to play the games. I'm going to have fun. We're going to do this, right?
But yet you're not having fun with it, though. The only time you ever have fun with a video game is whenever you get that money buff. When you get over $100 or $150, that's when you truly have fun, because they see the spark in your eye, that greedy look that I just made money playing a game I don't enjoy.
That's what I've always wanted. And maybe it's because of the way I was raised. As I'm getting older now, I'm starting to realize that even though I'm not a religious guy, by any...
Oh, fuck off with the religious talk, Phil. It's clear as day you're not fucking religious, and now you're going with, oh, I was raised Roman Catholic, guys. Let me tell you how the Roman Catholic Church told people that Jesus was a zombie.
It means that having that upbringing, having this moral compass, right? I find myself going...
Phil, your fucking moral compass is a goddamn roulette wheel. You know that ball that I mentioned way back when that we can't find it? Yeah, we fucking found it, Phil. It's in the fucking garbage.
Back to it more and more now that I'm older. When I was younger, I was rebellious. Oh, rage against everything, do whatever you want.
Oh, Phil, you're still the same way. You're raging against anything and anyone. I mean, God, he wants to say that he used to be rebellious, but he still is. He refuses to change.
But as I get older, I find myself going back to those tenets, those core tenets, those beliefs of, do unto others, right?
Yeah, Phil... It's treat others the way that you want to be treated. Yeah, but do unto others. But you probably took that and just misconstrued the whole meaning behind it. The golden proverb is like, oh yeah, this person just asked me a question. Bad. I guess they would like it, huh?
As you would have them do unto you. Don't just hurt others. True success is not success by any means. It's success where you can be successful, but you don't have to hurt others to be successful, right?
But Phil, again, you've hurt people. You've stepped over them. The crab in a bucket mentality is what you had. You're pulling yourself out of that bucket by pushing people down in order to get where you were at. You have fucked over people when it came to money. You have fucked over people when it came to just enjoying anything. I mean, you still kind of do that with Jade. Jade offered to play Street Fighter with you and actually wanted to play with you, and you told him, "Nah, I don't want to play with you, Jade." Hashtag justice for Jade.
That's the kind of stuff that I abide by. And so,
Yeah, very corrupt. Only care about the money. Yeah, don't care about the passion. As long as you make money out of it, then you're truly successful. Essentially going against what most Christianity or most Roman Catholic beliefs tell you is that greed will just destroy you.
I follow all this stuff, and a lot of people give me shit for it. Well, why do you have these principles? Don't you understand they're hurting you or whatever? Well, you may say that, but here I am 15 years in, and I'm still here, right?
Yeah, you're still here begging for money from all the deadheads from their disability checks. Yeah, successful. Right.
And my content isn't full of shilling ads and crap, and I'm still
But yet, every single time, they don't really hit the 4 digits, just saying.
able to get by. And yeah, there are some days that are slower days, and I mention it, and there's some days that are great days, and then I don't mention it at all, right? So, what's the big deal?
Well, then again, though, Phil, every single time you hit that money buff, your day becomes immediately better. But every single time you don't hit that money buff, oh, your day is shot and the game sucks. But yet you want to say that, oh, yeah, I guess you guys don't like this game because you didn't support it enough.
As long as we're all having a good time and enjoying the stuff I put out, then why does anyone give a crap, and why is anyone criticizing, right?
Because that's how you're proclaiming that everything that you're doing is successful. Yet you look at people that are way more successful than you are, that actually changed and improved themselves and actually got more money than you do, but you immediately call them failures, deflecting your own failure, your own insecurities onto other people that clearly don't fucking deserve it. I mean, for God's sakes, Philium, how much delusion do you have to snort into your fucking nose to actually think that all this is correct?
Because they want a reaction. They think that sitting there and misrepresenting and being gross and being toxic is going to get a reaction. It's not. I don't care.
Well, Phil, that's what you do. You're constantly gross by snorting into the mic, belching into the mic, blowing your fucking snot into the fucking mic, and being toxic when you don't get your money. I mean, Phil, that's essentially what you're doing. You're giving that own reaction to your own audience. And how is it that people can actually look at that and go, ha ha ha, he snorted into the mic. That's funny. I actually don't know how people can enjoy it. I really don't.
I will be here. I will be here on streaming every day that I choose to, until I choose to no longer stream. I will make videos for YouTube every day that I choose to, until I choose to no longer make videos for YouTube. Do you understand?
Or unless YouTube decides that, hey, you're breaking terms of service and we need to delete you.
I'm not going anywhere. I've been here for 15 years, and I will continue to be here for as long as I so choose. And then the day that I choose to retire, I will retire. Nothing anyone says, does, or anything is going to change that. They can't. They've tried. They failed. Nothing's going to change it. Okay?
Yeah, so this whole thing that you being arrogant, Phil, this will be your downfall, and it still is your downfall. I mean, my God, Phil. Why is it that you think that being this arrogant is actually going to save you? It really, really isn't. Oh, gulp, 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 gulp. Chew, chew, chew. Yeah, it's very satisfying. Meaningful. Robust.
So, there you have it. That's my philosophy. So when you ask me all these questions about this stuff, there you are. And the funny part is then you get a troll, like, for example, this person did a super chat and says, I'd rather watch an ad than be asked to donate. You just donated.
Oh, my God. Oh, my fucking God. The only reason why he had to give you a super chat is because you ignore messages. You really do. And you're sitting there with that smug, almost like condescending look of, you just donated to me. So why is it that you donate to me to tell me this? It's because you don't answer anybody. You're not interacting with your audience. The only time you ever do is if it's someone that's a regular of yours. But, oh my God, Phil. My fucking God. And you want to say that you're not toxic.
You just donated. I didn't ask you to. You just did. So you just literally did the biggest hypocritical thing you possibly could have done. Right? You're full of crap. And
even though that you don't really respond to your chat unless it's a super chat. We've seen this happen before, Philium.
that's the truth. No. Most people would rather willingly contribute to something they like than be forced to do something they don't want to do. That's the truth. It's an active choice to be generous because you like something you were already given for free versus being forced to do something with against your will with absolutely no option to not do that.
Phil, you kept saying over and over that you needed that money, that people giving you super chats and tips was mandatory to your business, never fucking optional. But then there are times you'll say that it's optional, but you don't mean that because you want it to be mandatory.
Huh? Someone tipped $1 says the difference with having sponsors, the viewer gets content and the product if they choose to pay for it. What?
Yes, that's exactly correct, though. They can choose the content as well as the product. If they see the product and if the content creator is selling you the product really fucking well, then they will give it a shot. I mean, for God's sakes, Phil, they're being salesmen and they're doing it right. Meanwhile, unlike you, you're trying to sell your own content to the audience and you're doing a piss poor job of it.
I don't even understand what you're saying. No. Most people, the vast majority of people who watch someone's content with a sponsorship do not buy the product.
Well, then again, Phil, you do not know this. There are some people that will say, oh, hey, Manscaped. Hey, that looks like a good razor. I'll give it a shot. He says this razor is good, and he's showing himself using it, and he likes it. So, yeah, I will give that razor a shot. Or NordVPN, how it's a really good VPN service. Huh, this person is actually telling you that it's really good, and they're providing you a good deal with their promo code. Okay, I'll give that a shot. But again, Phil is generalizing that no one does this when he doesn't really know if they do or not.
They're forced to watch the ad for it, but they don't buy the product.
No, they're not forced to watch the ad, Phil, because you want to know that they could do? They could just do this. Pretend this is the ad. Skip. Done.
A very, very small percentile of people who would actually partake.
Percentile. Oh, goddamn, Phil. You could just say percentage.
Take in the product that's being advertised or shielded to them. So I don't even understand what you're saying. I don't. Like what you're saying is
because what they said broke your fucking brain and you couldn't think of some witty retort to snap back at them?
Well, for that insanely small, right? Insanely small amount of a group who will actually buy the product, they'll benefit. I guess you're right.
Again, he's just generalizing and just making shit up just so that he could try to prove a point.
But when you're making a video for public consumption, right? Like right now, this podcast, I'm not just making this podcast for people who want to contribute. I'm making it to everyone.
You're not making it to contribute, huh? Then why is it you have the daily beg throughout the entirety of the podcast where you're like, okay, guys, if you really like the content, please give me likes, comment on the videos, give me super thanks, super chats, memberships, give me tips, because I could really use those.
Everyone who wants to watch it. If you like the content and you've decided actively of your own volition that you want to contribute because you like said content, then please do.
But you do not believe that at all because you believe that people giving you money is mandatory and they should do that to you because you're putting out products for them. You're putting out content for them and you deserve compensation when in reality you truly don't. Because if you're providing a free content, a free service, then you shouldn't demand money out of it because you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're not giving a fuck about the money. But again, you're caring a lot more about the money.
But I don't understand what you're saying. Like what you're saying is, well, if you purchase the product, then you benefit. Yeah, and how many people?
Yeah, they benefit because if the product is really good and they like the product, yeah, it's a benefit.
Do that 1%, 0.0005%. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he wants to say it's very, very small, but he's not going to do any lick of research on this at all.
That doesn't even make sense. The difference between you actively choose to support something because you like it, you're not forced to, versus you're forced to watch that ad for a product you don't care about.
Again, Phil, you can always skip the ad. There's nothing wrong with skipping the ad. It's not going to do any harm to them. Hey, this person's talking about raid satellite legends. Okay, skip ahead into the video where they actually get to the content. Again, they're not being forced to watch it. If they're being forced to watch something, that's called the unskippable ads that play at the beginning of the video, like what you're doing with your fucking streams.
And there's nothing you can do about it. You must watch it, right? It's completely different.
No, you don't have to watch the ads, Phil. Again, how many times do I have to sound like a broken record to get that through to you?
Anyway, Engine and Tonic at TM did a $10, by the way, I guess we're not doing suggestion box because a lot of contributions started coming in and now we're just constantly shouting them out, so I guess that's that.
Good, because essentially you looking at your suggestions is immediately yelling that they're demanding a lot out of me and I can't do any of this.
Engine and Tonic TM did a £10 super chat and says the best thing is no matter how you respond to anything, they'll try and spin it to make it sound like they won, i.e. calling you mad or crying. No, of course, again, you have to understand, they see me. Do you understand Lolcow Culture? Like, it's pretty disgusting. It's like...
Do you understand what Lolcow Culture is? Because it's clear as day you really don't. And that's coming from you, a lolcow.
So what we want to do, we're going to constantly talk about someone over and over and over, all right, to try to get a rise or something out of them. And the absolute moment that they respond, we won. It doesn't even matter how they responded. We won because all we're looking for is a response. That's it. The moment that they respond to it, we got their attention. We got them to say something, right? So they see that as a victory. It doesn't matter what you say or do. To them, they've already won. And of course, what they're going to do is they're going to constantly keep spinning it in a negative way to kind of keep getting you to bring it up, right?
Okay, so someone who's actually intelligent enough to be on the internet should know that, oh yeah, they're saying shit about me. Ignore it, because it's all bullshit. But Phil's problem is that he takes what anyone says. It doesn't matter if it's detractors or not. He will take what anyone said about him that's quote-unquote in a negative light, even though it's coming straight from his mouth. It will live in his head rent-free, and he will not let that go and hold a grudge against anybody that talks shit about him. For what reasons? Pettiness.
So, I've already said this before. Like today, I could, right now, go outside and walking down the street, I could stop a robbery. Like an old woman could be getting held up, and I could run up and punch the dude right in the face, just knock him the fuck out, and throw him down the street. Save the woman, right?
Nah, that's very unrealistic. What would happen is that you would try to do something, they're like, what the fuck you want, bitch? You're like, oh, I'm sorry, don't hurt me, I'm an alcoholic.
Then, I could turn around, and a car accident happens, and I pull a person out of the car that's on fire, and I save their life. Alright?
Nah, that would not happen either. You get close up to the flames, like, it's too hot, I can't do it. Don't hurt me, flames, I'm an alcoholic, I'm flammable.
And then all of a sudden, the earth opens up, right? And people are about to fall down this big pit in the ground, and I start pulling people away from the edge. Oh, get back, everyone. Get to safety, get to safety.
No, with those noodle arms that you got, nah, you'll probably fall straight into the fucking pit yourself.
Right? And then, aliens could come down out of the fucking sky, open their doors like, we are invading. And I could run up and say, fuck you, and kick the alien right in his alien genitals and throw him back into the spaceship, infecting him with some kind of deadly disease. Alright?
Is anyone laughing yet? Because I'm just looking at this and going, my god, how much crack did he have to smoke to make up these bullshit things?
And then they all die, and I save the entire planet from this situation. I save everyone. Alright? And what would happen? Those people who don't like me would literally go on their stream and be like, were you aware that when Phil was doing that, a napkin fell out of his pocket and he littered? And all they would do in the entire video is talk about how Darkside Phil litters. That's it.
Phil, you're taking something that's small as littering. It's like, my god, that's not even that big of a deal. It's not even that deep, bro. But you're just taking something, this really unrealistic narrative or this analogy that you're bringing up, and you're just bringing, oh, he littered, he's a terrible person. But if we're going to take what you're saying here, what you're trying to imply is that, oh yeah, people will look at me for doing a good deed, and it will never be appreciated due to the fact that all these negative things have happened. Yes, that would exactly happen due to the fact that your entire existence on the internet has been nothing but negativity and toxicity. And you're trying to do one good deed, hoping that that can negate hundreds upon hundreds of things that you've done in the past that was toxic to people. I mean, for God's sakes, main character syndrome, where he's thinking that I did a good deed, so all my sins should be fucking forgiven. When that's never gonna fucking happen with you.
They would ignore everything else that happened that day. None of that matters. That's how those people are. You know what I mean? So, to me, I don't give two rats' asses or craps about any of that stuff. I don't.
I don't care about any of this stuff, guys. But by the way, did you hear what my detractors said about me today?
I don't want anything to do with any of it. You know, I stay away from it. And, you know...
Yeah, I stay away from all the drama. Oh, by the way, LTG sucks.
Let them say what they want to say. Let them do what they want to do. That's how they handle it. And again, that's why you notice I'm not specifically addressing anything anyone says or does about me.
But you just did that. You brought it up. Granted, you didn't bring up anything that happened with you recently, though, but you're still bringing up detractors. You still are. We're dancing in your head rent-free, and we're living in the biggest apartment complexes there. And most of the people there are getting the fucking suites and the penthouses.
It's just generalities. I have no idea what they say. I pay no attention. You got people literally right now. So people say, oh, they're talking about you on a show. I don't care. I don't care.
Yes, you do. You actually care. Even though you're going to say that I don't care what they're talking about me, you do care because it does a damage to your reputation.
What they say. I don't want to know what they say because it will always continue. All they want is my attention and they will not get it.
Phil, don't you get people like your little birdies that come to you be like, hey, did you hear what Wing said about you? Did you hear what Boogie said about you? And the whole Lolcow Live podcast, what they said about you? Oh, yeah, they totally said this about you. Hear what Rich told you? Or detractors talk about you? Yeah, you get all of those and you're like, I don't care. But in reality, you secretly care. You're that narcissistic enough to be like, I wonder what people are talking about me today. Oh, it's mostly negative? Oh, I'm going to ban these people right now.
I'm here on my normal day of work. I will continue to do my normal day of work. Away from all of their nonsense, okay?
But yet, while you're doing your quote-unquote normal day of work, you're still going to spread your toxicity. Like cancer spreading its fucking wings. That's all that you're going to be. That same toxic man from 15 years, spreading more toxicity and expecting people to give you money for it. At the end of everything, what can you truly say about Darkside Phil? He'll constantly remain as a beggar, but yet will tell you that the way that he begs is more successful than anyone getting a paid advertisement or just any sponsorship deals. Like, for God's sakes, he claims that he wants to grow and that he's financially stable, but also likes to sit there and cry broke when he doesn't get that support. Like, Phil, the reason why all these people are more financially stable and they can grow financially is because they know how to change and adapt to the times. Doesn't matter what platform that they're on, they can do whatever needs necessary to make themselves more presentable and just more friendly and entertaining to people. But again, you just want to sit there and delude yourself thinking that you're successful and everyone else is failures, when in reality, the biggest failure here is you. But yet, you want to continue on and on about Lolcow Culture, even though you're one of the biggest Lolcows out there, and that you'll never truly understand it, because in your mind, you're better than everyone else. Well, that said and done, I'm actually just going to end this off with a Phil prayer, and just call it a day. Deliver us from the dents, deliver us from the pay pigs, deliver us with a pignosis. May we never become dented. May we never become a beggar like Darkside Phil. And just, for the love of God, if you stream and you get money out of it, just remember that any financial support you get from your streams is completely optional. And do not pull a Phil and demand it to be mandatory. Amen.